Good afternoon, I'm Tony Segreto. Coming up next on 4 News Now, a surprising twist in the case of 2 babies switched at birth. A hospital worker now alleges it was done intentionally. Find out next who is being blamed for that baby swap. And why is former Olympic diver Bruce Kimball back in the news? Well, as you know, his career came to an end after being convicted of driving drunk and killing 2 teens. Plus, parents need to know when to spank their problem child. Tonight, we offer an alternative you might not have considered. And the miracle of birth, why 55 families have special reason to give thanks on this holiday. Also, a verdict in the case of a CEO accused of using corporate money to fund his lavish lifestyle. Stay with us. 4 News Now is next.
Stay with us. Channel 4 News. Tony Segreto. Brian Norcross. Live. This is 4 News Now.
The baby-swapping saga taking a bizarre twist after a deathbed confession from a nurse's aide.
The woman claims a doctor ordered Kimberly Mays switched at birth with another baby. We have the latest first here on 4 News Now at 5.
Well, this new allegation, the latest in an emotional and bitter custody case involving 2 Florida families. Now, it all started first back in 1978 with the birth of 2 babies at Hardy Memorial Hospital in Wauchula. The switch was not discovered until years later when Arlena Twigg developed a heart condition. Blood tests showed the Twiggs were not her parents. Arlena died back in 1988. Now, the Twiggs' search for their biological daughter led them to Kimberly Mays. But last summer, the Twiggs lost all rights to Kimberly when a judge ruled the man who raised her, Robert, was her legal father. That ruling is now under appeal. Now comes this shocker. Patsy Webb, a nurse's aide, comes forward, revealing a doctor ordered the baby switched. And that's not all. Webb also alleges 2 other doctors also knew about the plan. Was Webb involved? Well, many people say Robert Mays certainly didn't know anything about it. Webb says she didn't come forward until now because she feared losing her job. More now from Channel 4's Mark Strassman in Sarasota.
Good afternoon, everyone. Just when Kimberly Mays thought the spotlight was finally off her, the glare of a new allegation that her baby swap was an intentional and possibly criminal act. The larger issue, of course, is how all this will affect this case that's now on appeal. In the strange saga of Kimberly Mays, a new twist on an old theory that her baby swap was intentional. Nurse's aide Patsy Webb claims a doctor asked her to switch the newborns. She refused, but later noticed that the 2 infants had changed bassinets. Art Ginsburg, one of Kimberly's lawyers.
Well, it makes sense to Patsy Webb. It doesn't make much sense to me. It's a non-occurrence as far as I'm concerned in reference to the Twiggs versus Mays case.
Regina Twigg, Kimberly's biological mother, repeatedly has claimed that the switch was engineered by Bob Mays, Kimberly's custodial father, the only father she's ever known. In court, Kimberly won the right to stay with Mays and to cut all ties with the Twiggs.
Biggest wish was that the Twiggs get out of my life, and yes, ma'am, it has come true.
Now the Twiggs attorney sees fresh hope.
Maybe Patsy Webb's change of heart is the break we've been waiting for, and hopefully it'll bring other people forward.
The big negative thing here, of course, is it hurts her, that it keeps coming up and coming up and coming up. So I don't know how it's going to affect her. Now, this whole thing's affected her terribly, and this is just another opening of the wound.
Bear in mind that Patsy Webb offered no new proof to go with her new allegation, and that in 3 earlier sworn statements, she said she knew nothing about the baby swap. Now she claims she's just a dying woman who wants to get out the truth, and along the way, she's keeping the controversy alive. That's the latest from Sarasota. I'm Mark Strassman reporting live, and now let's go back to you.
Mark, thank you very much for that live report. Now, we're going to move over here to Jerry Helfman because we have another high-profile case that just ended moments ago here in Miami. It involves David Paul. Jerry?
That's right, Tony. Former SunTrust chairman David Paul has been found guilty of fraud. He had been accused of paying for his lavish lifestyle with $3 million in SunTrust cash. Some of the most damaging testimony came from former Miami Beach Mayor Alex Dowd, who admitted to taking a $35,000 bribe from Paul. Paul was convicted on 68 fraud counts and was acquitted of 1 minor fraud charge. He could get a maximum of 350 years in prison. Paul still faces a second criminal trial on 29 counts of securities fraud next year. A former Olympic diver convicted of manslaughter released from a halfway house today after serving less than 5 years of a 17-year sentence. Bruce Kimball pleaded guilty in the DUI deaths of 2 teenagers back in 1988. You're looking at footage from his trial in 1989. The Florida Parole Commission released Kimball today as part of an early release program. Kimball will serve 15 years probation, is banned from holding a driver's license, and can't go any place where alcohol is served without a judge's permission.
They spent 8 days on a life raft before being rescued at sea. Today, 5 South African sailors are on solid ground right here in South Florida. Now, the group says they left Key West November the 7th, heading for California via the Panama Canal, when their sailboat sank in a storm south of the Cayman Islands. They drifted for 8 days before being picked up by a freighter off the coast of Belize. The 5 friends say they kept their spirits up by reminiscing about better times and used emergency rations to stay alive. They also drifted at sea for days before finally being picked up by the Coast Guard. 17 Cuban rafters, including a 5-year-old girl, found in the Straits near Miami and taken to Jacksonville today. The Coast Guard says the group was drifting in 2 separate boats when spotted. Jerry?
Well, Tony, 83 days and counting. 3 Miami pilots remain behind bars in a prison on an island hundreds of miles off the coast of Colombia. Their alleged crime, transporting explosives. For the family they left behind, as the days pass, their frustration grows. As Channel 4's Jose Diaz-Balart reports, they are now battling a foreign government.
It's like being totally alone in the world, and you're just trying to fight for something, and everyone that you might look to for help, they can't do anything.
On this, the eve of Thanksgiving, Jerry Waite has very little to be grateful for. Her husband Herbert, a pilot for Express Airways Cargo, has been in a Colombian jail for 83 days. He was arrested in San Andres, Colombia, when he stopped to get fuel there on his way to Ecuador. On board, hundreds of pounds of explosives for a construction site in Ecuador.
You spend every waking minute trying to figure out what can you do, what should you do, what should you not do. There's no one to tell you in this kind of situation what you shouldn't do.
I mean, you hardly sleep at night because you think of him lying down on the concrete slab on a mattress, and you know you're here in a comfortable air-conditioned house.
And what's worse, says the family, no word on when Waite, his co-pilot, and a mechanic will be freed. Take a look at the Waite's North Miami Beach home, and you can see they are doing everything they can to create public opinion on this matter. And if you look at the paperwork, Ecuadorian armed forces saying that the company in Ecuador bought the explosives, declarations of customs from the United States saying the explosives were going to Ecuador, and a whole lot of paperwork. It all seems to be in order, so the question is, why are they still in jail 83 days after they left South Florida? It's a question the family has no answer to. They hope and pray their loved one will be home soon. In North Miami, Jose Diaz-Balart, Channel 4 News.
Now, the Waites have asked for help from their elected officials who are looking into the case, but so far they have not gotten a response from the Colombian government.
A construction accident in downtown New York killing 1 man just before noon today. A huge winch became unbalanced and fell into a deep construction shaft. It hit 1 man, killing him instantly, and injured 7 others who were briefly trapped in a water-filled tunnel. They were hauled to safety in a construction bucket. Another construction accident today, this one in New Hampshire. 2 workers are dead, a 3rd seriously injured after a temporary bridge collapsed as it was being taken apart. Officials say the bridge toppled onto the workers, crushing them. None of the cars traveling on a busy road beneath it were hit.
Well, what are so many people doing on this Thanksgiving Eve?
Well, sitting in traffic or waiting for flights at the airport. We'll have a live report next on 4 News Now.
Plus, will the stormy skies continue through the Thanksgiving weekend?
And when you worry about airline safety, you think, will the engine stop working? But you might also want to think about the air you'll be breathing inside the cabin. At 6 on Channel 4 News tonight, our investigation clearing the air continues.
Plus, it's something supermodel Nikki Taylor couldn't do without, and you're sure to have a pair in your closet. We're talking jeans.
Yes.
And tonight, Nikki tells us why they never go out of style.
Nobody does it like you, the way that you do. Nobody's got the power to please me.
Hoover's exclusive 2-tank system lets you pick up wet in 1 tank, then switch to a separate tank to pick up dry. So there's no mess emptying, wet or dry.
Nobody does it like you, Hoover. Nobody does it like you.
Dan Marino and Mike Maroney.
You can own any car, truck, or van at Mike Rooney's for $93 down and $93 a month for the first 12 months.
$93 down, $93 a month.
On any Chevy, Olds, Dodge, or Geo. Hey, what happened?
Just lawyers. $93 down, $93 a month on every Isuzu and every custom van.
$93 down, $93 a month on any car, truck, or van at Maroney Auto Plaza or Maroney Dodge.
It's our biggest sale ever.
But after New Year's Eve, it's over, so hurry and don't hurt yourself. That's not funny.
The joy of shopping at certain malls. The crowds, the hassles. More crowds, more hassles. Traffic everywhere, and not a place to park. Unless you think International. Miami International Mall. With all the stores you want and all the parking you need. Miami International Mall. It's all right here. 836 at Northwest 107th Avenue. Spend $250 on Miami International Mall and get a free gift certificate.
Mom, can I help?
In a minute, honey.
Can I help?
Oh, nice as shit, kiddo.
Can I help? Maybe later.
For all the extra little touches that make the holidays special, look to Publix for the high quality you expect and the low prices you deserve.
4 News Now continues.
Today is by far the busiest travel day of the year. Welcome back to 4 News Now. You're looking at a live picture from Sky 4 over I-95 at the Golden Glades interchange. AAA says I-95 along with I-75 are the busiest interstates in the southeast. Nationwide, more than 24 million people will travel by car, truck, or RV. More than 4.5 million will travel by plane, train, or bus. You are now looking at a live picture from Miami International Airport where thousands of people are trying to get out of town. Tonight at 6, Channel 4's Hank Tester has a live report from MIA where he will tell us what you can do to make your trip easier. Holiday travelers got an early start this morning, crowding airports and train stations across the country.
Good evening from Washington National Airport. We are in the thick of the holiday rush hour now. It came on cue about 4 o'clock this afternoon. By 7 or 8 tonight, we should be out of the woods for today anyway. All of this traffic you see behind me, of course, follows that chaotic week for American Airlines. That airline today is flying at 100%. As for capacity aboard those flights, it's far from full. We will not know firm figures until after this holiday weekend. As for United Airlines, there are some delays here and at Virginia's Dulles International Airport. Those delays, we understand, are more weather-related, not related to any type of work slowdown.
So far, we've heard very little about delays here at the airport, but we're going to start hearing them in a little bit. Let me show you why. We're going to go outside where a drizzle has just started here at O'Hare. That's forced the airlines and the airport to institute something called flow control. Instead of taking off and landing 110 times every hour, they'll be taking off and landing about 70 times an hour. That's going to cause 10 to 20-minute delays.
Good afternoon from Denver's Stapleton Airport. Right now the temperature is less than 10 degrees. And until just a few minutes ago, it was snowing lightly here and kind of overcast. That's important because this is the nation's 6th largest airport, and delays here have a way of rippling all across the air travel system. And right now, delays in Denver are averaging 45 minutes to an hour. So if you know somebody that's coming from the West Coast to the East Coast or vice versa and coming through Denver, you can expect them to be perhaps a little bit late tonight.
Well, with weather being our watchword, let's bring in Channel 4's own birthday boy. Is it, what, 42 today, 43? Come on, you can be honest.
43.
4, yeah, you're as old as I am.
Yeah, I can remember when people over 40 were pretty much dead. You know? And now
birthday.
It's the prime of life.
Happy birthday,
Thank
Brian.
you, Tony, very much. What a bizarre and stupid day we had here today. We've been promising something weird coming along, and indeed, it did happen. I'm really pleased we go out on a limb and something rotten happens, and here we have it. Look at the view from Tower Cam. We are fogged in with Tower Cam with the visibility of Fort Lauderdale only 1.5 miles in fog and smoke at this hour. Now, let's take a look at Dade County via Grove Cam as we look from Coconut Grove, and we see a cloud deck out there and just kind of murky conditions and cold. Ooh, not a record cold day, but in the 60s, very, very unusual for this time of year. Let's take a look at the numbers here in downtown Miami. We're 69 now with 90% humidity, west wind at 13. Barometer steady and no rain here today, but we did have a little sprinkle around town And certainly some spots actually got pretty good rain, especially up in Broward County earlier on. All right, storm track Doppler radar shows you that storm that we were talking about and have been talking about for the last couple of days. Watch as we put it into motion. Look at the rotation here. And notice where the heaviest stuff is coming ashore. There's West Palm Beach right there. Coming ashore, Boca Raton right there. There's West Palm right up there. Coming ashore just north of West Palm, the yellows, the heavy thunderstorms. Also a very strong cluster of storms down here. Otherwise, just very light rain spread in here, and that's what we're in for. But kind of bands will spiral around this thing, and it's a little unclear exactly when we're going to clear out and when we might get some heavy rains. We're going to have to keep the possibility in the forecast. Look at the temperatures. Only in the 60s on the southeast coast. Tallahassee, the warm spot in the sunshine at 74. So here's where we are. Upper low is down in here. There's the surface low that developed. We've been talking about for days. It finally did happen. And there is a funny-looking kind of cold front. Now, let's put it into motion here and go back to 4:30 this morning and watch it rotate around right in here. The upper low met the surface system, strengthened the surface system, and the rain came in. So just like we were expecting, it finally did happen. Here you go now with your forecast. For the boaters, moderate northeast swells, bear that in mind with the system out there. Winds north to northeast 10 to 15 tomorrow, 2 to 4 feet in the open sea, moderate chop in the bay, 80 degrees in the surf. Tonight, periods of rain, heavy in spots. Whether those spots are Palm Beach County or Dade or Broward or the Keys, it's impossible to tell, but some spots within, say, 100 miles of here are going to have real heavy rain, 66. 78 tomorrow, lots of clouds, but I think some breaking up, but still some heavy storms are possible with that low in the area. Now, it's going to hang around and things are going to improve slowly, but improve some, Tony, as we move through the weekend. We'll talk about Dallas, which is not improving at all, in just a few minutes.
Thanks a lot, Brian. Well, two 11-year-old boys are accused of murder.
Tonight, a jury has reached their verdict in this horrible case. We'll have a full report on what happened from London.
To spank or not to spank, parents will sure to have a definite opinion on this one. Now find out what doctors and psychologists say in a special report.
Plus, some more tips to help keep you eating healthy over the holidays.
You can't miss this. 4 News Now is coming right back.
Ooh, I love the color.
A lot better than my last days.
I come for the mental challenge.
Good friend.
Big horsey.
Winning.
It's just $2.
Bad.
Faster.
It's a great time.
Special Thanksgiving Day post time, 11 a.m.
Ross After Thanksgiving Sale. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Opens 8 a.m. Friday. Don't be late.
My opinion, how people can stop the violence. People should try and understand one another. People need to realize that each and every person is different. It's all up to kids today to start understanding what violence is and why it should stop. I think it's just a matter of understanding other people to get along with them. There should be good news in the world, not bad news. I think violence should stop.
McDonald's and Channel 4 salute the winners of McDonald's Stop the Violence poster contest.
Coming up on the next Entertainment Tonight.
Many of these children are like war-torn victims.
Oprah Winfrey's in a new movie, and it could be her most powerful yet. E.T. catches up with Oprah about the film that deals with children living in America's war zone. Plus, see Fabio as a pirate. See him as a Viking. He's been the king of pinup. Now check out Fabio's acting as he brings legendary lovers alive with romance videos on the next E.T.
Entertainment Tonight, weeknights at 7:30 following a current affair.
You're watching 4 News Now.
And welcome back to 4 News Now. What would you do if your child acted up like this? We showed this to you yesterday. Would you try to reason with her, or would you spank her? If you decide not to spank, how else can you discipline your child? Tonight, in part 2 of our special report, Phil Walters looks at a program called Tuesday's Child that helps parents find alternatives to spanking.
Number one is the obedience, and that's where, you just lose all your patience.
Right.
Okay.
Vicki Merritt has come for help. She and her 8-year-old daughter, Candace, have moved in with Grandma, an aunt, and 2 other children. A happy family, except Candace often disobeys now. Mother often screams or spanks, and grandmother usually comforts.
Getting attention is likely to be one goal that's operating for her. Maybe she perceives that you're not spending enough time with her, positive time.
Possibly. Then the psychologist, Jay Colker, interviews the child separately.
And 8 months ago, you moved back home. Has it been harder for you since you've moved back? Oh, you shake your head no, but your smile says yes.
I like to stay in my own house.
You would like to be in your own house.
And it turns out that making Mommy scream is sort of fun.
Could it be that you also like it when Grandma kind of treats you very specially?
Yes.
Yeah.
He recommends family meetings where duties are agreed on and consequences laid out in advance. Mother is to stop being the final enforcer. Grandmother is told to stay out of it.
You can have special time, and I'm recommending a lot of special time, but not when she comes and says, poor little me, help me.
Counselors here at the Adler School also suggest another ending for our family drama.
You can put your own toys away so you'll know exactly where they are the next time you want to play with them. If I put your toys away, you may not be able to find them next time. It's really your choice.
I'll tell you right now, that's not the real life. The kids don't think like that. It makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. I would go with that. No, I don't think that'll work.
Yet most psychologists say it is the spanking that does not work.
If they cannot get your positive attention, they will do something to get your negative attention.
So spanking to them is better than being ignored.
Spanking is better than no attention at all.
Get to it.
So at Tuesday's Child, the advice, ignore little irritations, head off more serious conflicts, call time out to interrupt the behavior.
We don't have policemen on the corner giving us tickets for good stopping at the stop sign.
Right.
And change may not come quickly.
But please be aware that things get worse before they get better. And you may see more problems at first as they try and get you to fall back into old patterns.
Phil Walters for Channel 4 News.
And the one conclusion emerging from parents, doctors, and family counselors is that developing alternatives to spanking takes a lot of time, patience, and practice.
Could your dog be carrying a deadly virus? Tonight, you're being urged to find out and do something about it. That story and more healthy eating tips for the holidays in tonight's Health News Now report with Ileana Bravo. This warning going out to pet owners tonight. Better get your dogs and cats vaccinated against rabies. The Humane Society is making that message loud and clear on billboards, as you see. Officials say it's a serious problem. Only 20% of the domestic dogs and very few cats in Dade County are inoculated against the deadly virus. Rabies is on the rise nationwide. The Humane Society urges you to get your dogs and cats vaccinated at one of their low-cost animal clinics. Swimming with dolphins is more than a thrilling experience for this man you're about to see. He believes it accomplishes what drugs cannot do, alleviate his chronic pain. He suffered a broken neck in an accident and is now part of an experiment funded by a group of neurosurgeons in Key Largo. The theory is that a swim with a dolphin distracts the mind from pain.
We believe that the humans produce their own painkillers, their own natural painkillers, which are called endogenous opioids. And we are not sure if it's the excitement of being with the dolphin or clinically the interaction with the dolphin, and the dolphin is somehow causing this to happen.
Researchers are still in the early stages of their experiments with the dolphins. They hope to learn much more in the future. Well, on the eve of Thanksgiving, when we're all thinking about food, let's take a minute out for some healthy eating hints from University of Miami nutritionist Shea Rohrback. Now, here goes, folks. You fill one small plate with the things you really want. You don't have to try everything. If you want to try a dessert from the buffet table, take a small one and then move away from the table. Feeling deprived can lead to overeating. Here's my favorite. Wear tight clothing. It'll make you more conscious of overeating. Choose broiled foods. Limit the fried ones, of course. Look for broiled shrimp, chicken skewers, or foods not wrapped in dough. And finally, another favorite, socialize more. It's going to keep you occupied and help you eat and drink less. So those tips, use them wisely, and happy Thanksgiving, Tony.
Same to you, Ileana. So much for wearing my Zubaz for Thanksgiving dinner table. Well, coming up next on 4 News Now, the verdict is in and sentences handed down for Britain's youngest murder suspects. South Florida's needy families may find their stomachs empty this Thanksgiving Day, and we're going to tell you why. The man who nearly lost his penis to an angry wife gets a date, and we're going to tell you who she is. And supermodel Nikki Taylor has the lowdown on a fashion craze that's as old as fashion itself. We'll be right back.
Nobody does it like you, the way that you do. Hoover, nobody does it like you.
Grandma, did your grandma teach you things when you were a little girl?
Sure, sweetheart. That's what grandmas are for.
Grandma, will you always be my grandma?
Always, sweetheart. Always.
Riverside Gordon has always been there in times of need. Call now to receive your family protection guide for complete peace of mind for you and your family.
Santa's Enchanted Forest is the most spectacular Christmas theme park in the world. It features over 1 million lights. See the world's largest white rock Christmas tree, and all carnival rides are free with a paid admission.
Santa's, it's fun. It's magic. It's Christmas.
It's amazing. It's mind-boggling. Don't miss it. Come tonight. Located at the intersection of Bird Road and the Palmetto Expressway.
Nobody does it like you, the way that you do. Hoover, nobody does it like you.
Hi, I'm Joe Rose, and at Tamiami, we say shop around. Whoa, but don't drop the ball. Come in and make your best deal on a 94 Chrysler, Plymouth, Jeep, or Eagle.
Get a 94 model for just 94 cents over factory invoice. We've got the guaranteed lowest prices on cars, Jeeps, and minivans, and 2.9% financing on select models for a limited time only, so hurry in.
Make 94 your winning season at South Florida's #1 Chrysler, Plymouth, Jeep, Eagle dealer, Tamiami.
Here's a tip on how to save money in today's economy. Holiday decorating can be costly, but it is possible to deck the halls on a budget. When trimming your tree, add natural ingredients such as popcorn, cranberries, and pine cones to your store-bought ornaments. Shop retailers who offer holiday specials. With a little careful shopping, you won't have to wait until after the holidays to enjoy the savings of the season. This tip was brought to you by Eckerdnomics. The economy is looking pretty good. The live lotto drawing every Saturday night right before the Channel 4 News Nightcast at 11.
Are you their next victim? Con artists who invade your home and steal everything. Find out how to stop them. Unsolved Mysteries. Arresting Television. NBC Tonight. Tonight, an unforgettable night of laughs.
Jason Alexander, Carol Burnett, Paul Reiser.
It's TV's greatest night of comedy.
Michael Richards, Richard Lewis, Burt Reynolds.
With television history's top comic talent.
Jack Lemmon, Sharon Stone, Jonathan Winters.
Together for the first time ever. The first annual Comedy Hall of Fame. NBC Tonight.
Sunshine, rain, hurricanes. For the complete weather forecast, call the Channel 4 News weather phone. In Dade, 358-8000, code 4444. In Broward, 731-7000, code 4444. A service of the Real Talk Yellow Pages and Channel 4 News.
The Heidi Fleiss Love Video, a home movie of Heidi in love, exclusively on the next Current Affair.
Weeknights at 7, following NBC Nightly News.
4 News Now continues.
And welcome back to 4 News Now. It's a case that shocked the world. 2 11-year-old boys charged with kidnapping a 2-year-old, then beating him to death. Today, a jury found them guilty of murder. Once they were convicted, a judge finally released the boys' names. They are Robert Thompson and John Venables, known only as Child A and Child B during the trial. Neither boy reacted when they heard the verdict, but as reporter Richard Wells tells us, this trial has been an emotional roller coaster for the entire country.
What happened to James Bulger sent a current of fear and revulsion throughout the country. He was a bright, trusting 2-year-old from a loving family. Here in the Strand Centre in Bootle, James and his mother came shopping on a Friday afternoon in February. What happened next was captured by security cameras. The pictures were later to be shown on millions of TV screens, released by the police in their frantic search for James. In the first sequence of pictures, James is seen wandering around outside a butcher's shop. His mother, Denise, is at the counter, unaware that James has left her side. Moments later, on another camera, the two boys emerge, beckoning James to follow them. And then, the most vivid picture of all, James being led away by the hand. The image brought an enormous public response. James's mother reported him missing within seconds, but by then the boys were leaving the centre with James. In the next hour and 40 minutes, James and his abductors were seen by more than 100 people on a 2.5-mile walk from Bootle to Walton. The dreadful journey ended on a railway track alongside the local police station. There, 2 days later, James's body was found. He'd been pelted with bricks and beaten with a metal bar. The two boys were arrested the following week. The outrage of the local community spilled onto the streets when the two boys appeared in court. 300 people gathered outside. Many shouted abuse and ignored the fact that the accused were, at that time, only 10 years old. The Crown Court trial was moved out of Merseyside to Preston. James's mother, Denise, who in February went on television to appeal for her son's return, went only once, with a verdict. This was a bleak episode in Merseyside's history, but James's death produced an amazing response. More than £160,000 was raised in his name for charity. Messages of sympathy came from all over the world. Gestures of warmth from which Mr. and Mrs. Bulger, despite their grief, took comfort. Richard Wells, BBC News, Merseyside.
A horrible story. A high school student arrested after firing a shot at the principal. Now, it happened at Dillard High School. The 17-year-old allegedly pulled out a gun after being suspended for arguing with a teacher. The student shot at but missed the principal and then returned to class and pointed the gun at the teacher. The student was later arrested. Jerry?
The on-again, off-again Brady bill is on again. Today, lawmakers set aside their differences and, in a voice vote, agreed to pass the bill, sending it to President Clinton's desk. The bill sets a 5-day waiting period on handgun purchases, but in January, the Senate will vote again on the law's lifespan, currently 5 years. Senate Majority Leader George Mitchell says the Brady bill is an important step.
But it is a significant, even though modest, reasonable step toward trying to keep weapons out of the hands of those who ought not to have them.
And I believe all of us will feel better having this issue behind us. There'll be other issues, maybe other gun issues, but at least as far as the Brady bill is concerned, it has now been passed. It will go to the president, and no question in my mind the president will sign it as quickly as he receives it.
Florida Senator Bob Graham favors the Brady bill. Senator Connie Mack opposes it. President Clinton says he's elated the bill passed. He's calling it a wonderful Thanksgiving present for the country. The day before Thanksgiving, a busy one for the president. First, he carried out a White House tradition of giving a live turkey a presidential pardon. Then he and the First Lady went to a Washington inner-city church to help prepare for tomorrow's Thanksgiving dinner for the homeless. The president called Thanksgiving a time to reach out in service to others. The Daily Bread Food Bank reaches out to others every day, but this Thanksgiving, it's having a problem. The food bank is out of food. Channel 4's Susan Wallace tells us why this holiday some families may be going hungry.
The donated canned goods keep coming, but they're moving out much faster. The Daily Bread Food Bank is fighting a daily battle to keep up with the demands of South Florida. Just take a walk into the huge cooler where you'd normally find tons of food.
This is a sign of the incredible demand of this holiday season.
The cupboard is bare.
Exactly.
People who run this food bank suspect that people in Dade County are still hurting from a bad economy and the legacy of Hurricane Andrew.
We have the dubious distinction of being #1 in poverty rate of all major metropolitan areas in the country. And in parts of Miami and parts of South Dade, that poverty rate is 40–50%.
This group is scrambling to feed members of a North Miami church, and this food may be the only food some members see this holiday.
Some people are not working. They're unemployed. If we come to the food bank and get something from them, that's very helpful.
But the help is scarce. No, they have no bananas. Instead, in these banana boxes are cans and cans of food, enough to feed a family for at least a week. Well, 26,000 people have requested these food boxes for Thanksgiving. The Daily Bread is afraid it can only fill about 40% of those requests. The Daily Bread is calling for canned goods, turkeys, hams, chicken, either fresh or frozen. And though donations will be too late for Thanksgiving, volunteers expect Christmas to be just as urgent. Food sorters would love to have more food to sort.
I feel blessed knowing that where I have come from and where I am today, that I can afford to take this time to give something back.
All the volunteers are hoping that spirit of giving is alive and well throughout South Florida. In Miami, Susan Wallace, Channel 4 News.
And there are food shortages all over the country this holiday weekend. Food banks from Boston to Honolulu facing massive shortages. Donations are actually up 15%, but the demand for food is also up 37%. Organizers blame the demand on a slow economy. Corporate donations have also slowed because companies are producing less surplus food than last year. An amazing sight in West Little River neighborhood today. Hundreds of people lining up for Thanksgiving boxes of food thanks to one woman and her church. Pastor Almeida Musgrove and volunteers gave food to more than 300 families to help make a happier Thanksgiving for them.
I want to make sure every child's smiling. I want to make sure every needy family have, a box to have some to drink or have some turkey to eat on this Thanksgiving day.
Musgrove says local food banks helped her church to collect enough food. So, what are you going to do after stuffing yourself with Thanksgiving turkey tomorrow? How about watching the Dolphins play the Dallas Cowboys? Game time, 4 o'clock right here on Channel 4. Get your spot on the couch ready. And then, when the postgame special comes on, go get your pumpkin pie, because it's going to be a special edition of Sports Final live from Dallas right after the game.
And coming up on 4 News Now, she's more than just a dance teacher. She's a role model who's making a difference for some inner-city kids. And some much-needed plastic surgery for 2 badly injured turtles. But first, here's a Sky 4 look over I-95. Coming up in just a minute, we'll give you an update on an accident that has shut down a ramp at the Golden Glades interchange. We'll be right back.
Everybody wants to get into a membership warehouse to get great savings on groceries, electronics, auto, and business supplies. But getting inside without qualifying or paying for a membership was impossible. Until now. Now there's the free Pace individual membership card. Get in and save.
The new limited edition Nissan Sentra with an airbag, cruise control, air conditioning, and a 4-speaker cassette stereo costs $2,000 less than a comparably equipped Toyota Corolla. $2,000. Just think, you can use that to buy your first tank of gas. Should you prefer a lease, you can now get a Sentra for $189 a month with $500 down for 36 months.
Macy's Thanksgiving Sale. Great savings for the entire family. Our best-selling Pinpoint Oxford shirt, $29.99. Sony Dual Cassette CD System, $199.99. Dazzling 3-carat diamond S bracelet, $899. Find the perfect holiday dress, 30 to 40% off. Every woman in junior's coat, 25 to 40% off. Plus, get lamb chop, just $12.95 with any $35 purchase. Macy's Thanksgiving Sale. Make the pilgrimage.
It is 5:38 on this Thanksgiving Eve. You are currently looking at a live picture of I-95 from Sky 4. Let's go to Sean Toner for the very latest on traffic. Sean?
Thank you very much, Tony. We had big trouble earlier today at southbound 95. Actually, eastbound Palmetto, southbound 95, an 18-wheeler got jackknifed. Now the vehicle's gone, but the fuel spill has the ramp eastbound and southbound still shut down, maybe till 7:30 this evening. You'll see the delays right now, too. Southbound 95 getting you to the Golden Glades interchange. Unusual for this time. Also travel trouble westbound on the E362, getting to 95 and getting to the airport area. Airport travel still very busy. Your best bet, though, avoid 95 again. Eastbound Palmetto to southbound 95 will be closed down possibly till 7:30 this evening. That's traffic on 4 News Now.
We said it'd be easy, and it's easy, all right. It's the new Fantasy 5, new and improved, with even more winners than we thought. Over 100 people are taking home about 20 grand each, week after week after week. So what are you waiting for? Get in your car and... No, try, or swim, or dance, or fly to a lottery retailer and play the game with lots more winners. It could be Julie, or Jackie, or Bobby, or Tex. It could be you. The all-new Fantasy 5 with over 100 winners a week. Winning's never been so easy.
Don't think of school as a real bummer. Think of it as a real future. The more you get your butt to class, the further you'll get when you graduate.
Are you their next victim? Con artists who invade your home and steal everything. Find out how to stop them. Unsolved Mysteries. Arresting Television. NBC Tonight. Tonight, an unforgettable night of laughs.
Jason Alexander, Carol Burnett, Paul Reiser.
It's TV's greatest night of comedy.
Michael Richards, Richard Lewis, Burt Reynolds.
With television history's top comic talent.
Jack Lemmon, Sharon Stone, Jonathan Winters.
Together for the first time ever. The first annual Comedy Hall of Fame. NBC Tonight.
Day 3 of A Hollywood Affair, Heidi's love video. She would come to be known as the Hollywood Madam, but this was another time, another place, another Heidi. The home movie of Heidi Fleiss, shot by her lover, Yvonne Nage, a bashful Heidi, a modest Heidi, a busy Heidi.
Trying to take care of business, don't bother me now.
Heidi's love video, exclusively on the next A Current Affair.
A Current Affair. Weeknights at 7, following NBC Nightly News.
You're watching 4 News Now.
Welcome back to 4 News Now. A Miami teacher is making a difference in the lives of some inner-city kids through the art of dance and African culture. As Channel 4's Bob Mayer reports, Florence Nichols' dance classes are more than just a way to keep kids on the right path.
And stretch. How's the bear doing here? And point. Very good. You have a hard day today?
This is Miami's inner city, but probably a piece of it you never saw before. It's a slice of everyday life at the Inner City Children's Touring Dance Company. On this night at Miami Northwest Senior High, the dance company brings together 3- and 4-year-old girls and their mothers and fathers.
Little Lara.
Founded and run by a woman who's dedicated her life to making a difference in the lives of these kids, Florrie Nichols. Her school has been doing just that for 20 years.
Now we use dance as a form of keeping children out of trouble. With the crime so high in Miami and across the country, the most stalwart of families are having a problem keeping their kids out of trouble. So we use the arts as a vehicle to do that.
Nichols enrolls about 250 children from ages 2 to 17 for a 10-month program that enriches the kids and teaches them in classical ballet, tap, modern dance, West African dance, and African culture, surely in a way they could never have gotten elsewhere.
It keeps children informed with their culture, it keeps their bodies healthy and strong, it teaches them what foods to eat, and all kinds of great things like that.
Nichols takes the various groups to perform weekly at hospitals, prisons, senior centers, schools, parks, even to Africa, and at last year's World's Fair in Spain, all because someone chose to make a difference. In Miami, Bob Mayer, Channel 4 News.
Okay, we know that you know someone who's making a difference in South Florida. Write us about him or her. The address is WTVJ Channel 4, 316 North Miami Avenue, Miami, Florida, 33128.
Veterinarians at the Museum of Science Wildlife Center doing their part to help 2 badly injured turtles run over by automobiles. The 2 gopher tortoises were struck last week and brought to the museum. Doctors plan to fix the turtle shells with fiberglass, tag them, and then return them to the wild. Well, now it's time to go back to the birthday boy. You don't look a day over 42, actually. No, but you've got a number of us from Channel 4 Sports going to Dallas tomorrow. Myself, Stuart Jacobs, Steve Kaplan. We're all leaving in the morning. Are we going to have any trouble getting in there?
Well, it's maybe delayed. I think you'll land okay. It should be raining first part of the day, switching over to light freezing rain late in the day. So it could be a really rotten day at Texas Stadium tomorrow. And windy besides, with the temperature about 30. That's what we're saying at game time. All right, Tower Cam has got some lights showing now. That's the paddock area out at Calder Racetrack. As we look down on a murky, miserable, kind of northern. If you've never been to New Jersey, this is pretty much New Jersey most of the year, just like this, at least in the wintertime here. All right, let's take a look outside and see what we've got here. 67 at the airport of Miami, 68 on the beach, 68 Homestead, 68 at Fort Lauderdale, 75 at Key West, where it is not anywhere near as murky as it is here. All right, let's take a look now at our fancy new Doppler radar. And what we're looking at here is how much has it rained in various areas. The dark blue indicating up to an inch, the light blue up to about a half an inch, and the very light blue down in here in the 1/10 of an inch range over just the last 3 hours. You see, a couple of bands have come into Broward County. Nothing significant in Dade County, just very, very light. The heaviest stuff up here in Palm Beach County. On the wider view, you see down here, very heavy rain, some fish getting drowned down there by Andros Island. Now, where is it raining right now? Doppler radar shows us a band of strong thunderstorms here and a little cluster of showers down to our south. Satellite picture now, check it out, and let's go in and put it into motion close up and really look at this closely. Look what's happening. See this thing rotating around down here? I think it's going to rotate around for a couple of days, but it's going to draw some drier air in around it, but also draw some showers rotating around it too. So we'll see some improvement, I think, but it ain't going to be great all the time with that thing in the area. It looks like it's going to be in the area until this cold front comes along and sweeps it out, and that's not going to happen until late Saturday or Sunday. Here you see the temperatures behind the front, 29 at Oklahoma City, ahead of the front, 72 at Jackson, Mississippi, warmer than it is here in Miami. In fact, it's exactly the same in Atlanta as it is here in Miami right now. In the Northeast, not too bad, although on the cloudy, ugly side. Got some snow from Buffalo over to Utica along the New York Thruway there. Green Bay is 32. Chicago, 43. They're going to stay under the rain because the cold air is stopping just west of there. Now we go out west. This is where it is. Here's the front right here. Denver, Colorado. Current temperature, 6 degrees. They made it to 9. The coldest they ever were on the state before was 17. So it's an amazingly cold day out that way. You see, these are all current temperatures. West Coast in California is looking just great. For the boaters here, for the forecast tonight, for the boaters, the winds are going to be north to northeast, by the way, rotating around that low. The swells are of some concern, but here on land, periods of rain. Right now, it looks like mostly north and west of us. But some of them are going to be heavy, and some later on tonight could be rotating in and be fairly heavy, about 66. Tomorrow, lots of clouds, but I think some breaking of the clouds as well. Some heavy storms are possible somewhere, maybe in the Bahamas, maybe Palm Beach County, but maybe right here. About 78. If we get some sun, it'll be up near 80. Now, to take you through your weekend, we're going to keep this thing on Friday, but again, slowly getting better as it slowly moves south. Still a few showers as the front approaches Saturday. Then we should be clearing out. And by Sunday afternoon, be okay. But it's going to be a slow go, but improving an inch at a time. Okay?
We'll try and push it along, Brian.
Right.
Thanks a lot. When we come back, it's the clothing item that will never go away. Supermodel Nikki Taylor will tell you what it is. Macaulay Culkin back on the big screen in a holiday classic. These stories and more when 4 News Now returns.
I'm Hank Tester at MIA. Where's that big travel crowd that was supposed to be out here? Not a lot of them showed up. I'll have the inside story coming up at 6.
Turkey, stuffing, gravy, fish, fish. No Thanksgiving Day feast is complete without a little Dolphins football. And guess who's coming to dinner? And the Super Bowl champion Dallas Cowboys. So grab a drumstick and settle in for a Turkey Day tangle in Texas. Then for dessert, a special post-game show live from Dallas. Dolphins, Cowboys, Thursday at 4, only on Channel 4.
In Hong Kong, they say spirits inhabit the earth, air, and sea. It is considered bad joss, bad luck, to anger the spirits. So building a treatment center to keep hazardous waste from entering the waters of Victoria Harbor isn't just sound environmental thinking. It could also be very good joss. What business do we have saying we help the environment? That is our business.
Hi, this is Joe Angel. See your South Florida Dodge dealers and put yourself in the win column.
Oh, my throat. Aw, what if I bring you something nice and hot for that nasty cold? With a touch of honey and lemon?
That'd be good.
What if it had soothing vapors?
That'd be better.
What if it relieves your sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head fever so you can rest?
That'd be NyQuil.
Introducing NyQuil Hot Therapy with real honey and lemon taste and soothing Vicks vapors.
That's better.
NyQuil Hot Therapy. You'll feel better knowing it's NyQuil.
Are you their next victim? Con artists who invade your home and steal everything. Find out how to stop them. Unsolved mysteries. Arresting television. NBC Tonight. Tonight, an unforgettable night of laughs.
Jason Alexander, Carol Burnett, Paul Reiser.
It's TV's greatest night of comedy.
Michael Richards, Richard Lewis, Burt Reynolds.
With television history's top comic talent.
Jack Lemmon, Sharon Stone, Jonathan Winters.
Together for the first time ever. The first annual Comedy Hall of Fame. NBC Tonight.
4 News Now continues.
Well, you can wear them to hang out in. You can wear them to play in, and nowadays you can even wear them around the office. Supermodel and occasional contributor to Channel 4, Nikki Taylor, gives us the fresh outlook on an old reliable.
Papa's got a brand new bag.
What is the one clothing item that just about every person has in their closet, man or woman? Blue jeans. And once again, they're proving to be the fashion statement that never says die. Jeans have been around since 1853. That's when Levi Strauss made the first pair, known back then as waist-high overalls. Through the years, of course, jeans have evolved from the workhorse of the wardrobe to denim by designers.
The black jeans were very strong last year. Blue jeans are really coming back.
Tommy H says his jeans are more affordable than those made by other designers.
With the CK going on.
They're too tight, look at that. And they make your butt look flat. They should be at least down to here.
Let's see, show me.
First of all, the crotch part is not supposed to go this far down. They're supposed to fit a woman like everything. But stay with your blue jeans, you know.
The more worn out they are, the better they look.
I'm sporty. A little casual elegance for the evening.
Comfort is really why jeans have survived all these years. Ask just about everyone over 30, and they'll tell you the best improvement in jeans is the natural fit. Those made with a skosh more room. There's room now for blue jeans just about anywhere, anytime. Dressed down with a t-shirt or dressed up with a tie. Quite an evolution for a fashion item born 140 years ago. By the way, did you know that the term jeans came from the French? Back in the mid-1800s, sailors from Genoa, Italy, came over to France wearing these cotton trousers. So the French started calling these sailors with cotton trousers jeans, and that's where the term jeans came from. Nikki Taylor, Channel 4 News. In entertainment news, pop star Michael Jackson isn't letting sex abuse allegations and drug addiction scandals cramp his style. Jackson pulled off a major deal today, reportedly the largest deal in music publishing history. Jackson's company announced the singer's moving his music publishing operation to EMI Music, a $200 million deal. Meantime, lawyers for the 13-year-old boy accusing Jackson of sexual abuse are preparing to take depositions from witnesses. Radio talk show host Howard Stern doing a little on-air matchmaking for the man whose wife cut off his penis. Stern raised $25,000 for John Bobbitt's medical bills and legal fees, and then got him a date. Susan Olsen, who played Cindy on the Brady Bunch, called in to make a donation and said she would go out with Bobbitt. Well, once you're finished putting away all the turkey and trimmings tomorrow, how about checking out one of the new movies coming out just in time for Thanksgiving? Kids will want to see Home Alone's Macaulay Culkin in the movie version of The Nutcracker. That premieres today, along with Mrs. Doubtfire, starring Robin Williams, as a man who disguises himself as a woman so he can see his kids. Those looking for a little heavier fare can try A Perfect World, starring Clint Eastwood and Kevin Costner.
Let me tell you. How did you keep a straight face there?
Well, difficult with you laughing back
The Brady
there.
Bunch just won't go away, will they? All right, still to come on 4 News Now. We're going to wrap up today's top stories. And investigators in New York are wondering what went wrong at a construction site. One man was killed. We'll be right back.
Cadillac Seville SLS has a full-range traction control system that operates at any speed in any weather.
Impressive.
Amazing.
Terrific.
Its North Star V8 doesn't require its first tune-up for 100,000 miles.
Impressive.
Amazing.
Terrific.
Now $539 a month for 24 months and $21.70 down.
Impressive.
Amazing.
Forget Lexus. I'm buying a Cadillac.
Drive the 94 Seville SLS today at a Florida Cadillac dealer, where we're creating a higher standard.
Nobody does it like you, the way that you do. Nobody's got the power to please me.
Hoover's exclusive 2-tank system lets you pick up wet in one tank, then switch to a separate tank to pick up dry. So there's no mess emptying, wet or dry.
Nobody does it like you, Hoover. Nobody does it like you.
Well, I'm sure glad Winn-Dixie discounts their makeup 30% every day. I saved 75 cents on this nail polish and $1.20 on this $4 lipstick. So don't hate me, because I'm cost-conscious. You don't even know me. Ever been down to your last pair of pantyhose and it's a week till payday? No, sir, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to your wife. Well, now Winn-Dixie discounts pantyhose 20% every day. I save 80 cents a pair, 40 cents a leg, 10 cents a toe. No, 8 cents a toe.
Swanson asks, which do you think tastes better? Vegetables cooked in water or vegetables cooked with Swanson broth? Swanson broth. It simply makes food taste better.
Mr. Coffee's Potato Perfect gives you real oven-baked potatoes in about half the time. Potato Perfect, the quick potato baker by Mr. Coffee.
Hi, I'm Naib Estefan with Dan Marino and Footy from Y100.
And who's got the best chicken wings in South Florida?
We'll find out on December 4th in Hollywood's Young Circle at noon.
Join me, Dan, and recording artists Dave Claus, Michael Wolf, Joshua Caddison, and Boy Crazy.
And lots of surprises.
Y100 Wingding, it's Muche Grande. Okay, kid.
I'm Kelly Craig. Join me and Jose Diaz-Balart at Footy's Y100 Wingding. Saturday, December 4th is Muy Grande.
And welcome back to 4 News Now. Here's a look at some of our top stories.
In local news now, a former nurse's aide bringing new allegations in the case of Kimberly Mays. Patsy Webb says the baby swap between Kimberly and Arlena Twigg wasn't an accident, but intentional. She says a doctor ordered the switch in December of 1978. Robert Mays denies taking part in an intentional baby switch. A tough time for families depending on the Daily Bread Food Bank in Northwest State. The group is coming up short of supplies for the needy this holiday season. Volunteers say donations haven't gone down, but demand is greater than the supply.
And in national news on this Thanksgiving Eve, she was a fugitive missing for more than 2 decades. Now Catherine Ann Powers will be spending her time in jail. Powers was sentenced today to 5 years in federal prison for her role in a 1970 bank robbery. A construction worker killed in New York today, struck by construction equipment that fell into a new city water tunnel. 7 others were injured, but were pulled to safety by coworkers and rescue teams.
Taking a look at world news now, 22 people killed in India when the train they were riding on slammed into another train. 60 others were hurt in the crash. The accident has stopped rail traffic in the country while debris is cleared. And in England, a verdict tonight in the murder case that enraged that nation. 2 11-year-old boys found guilty of kidnapping and murdering 2-year-old James Bulger. The children were sentenced to indefinite detention. And that's going to do it for us on 4 News Now at 5.
Thank you so much for joining us. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, and to you.
Stick close.
And
I'll be joining Michelle Gillen for the Channel 4 News at 6. Michelle?
The verdict is in. It's guilty. Former Centrist Chairman David Paul, convicted on 68 federal fraud counts, will have a live report. The man convicted in one of the nation's most notorious drunk driving cases is released from a South Florida halfway house 10 years before his sentence expires. It is a dangerous weekend for driving. We'll have live updates on travel and airline travel. How dangerous is the air you breathe on airplanes? Part 3 of our special report. Channel 4 News at 6 is next.
Stay with us. Channel 4 News. Michelle Gillen. Tony Segreto. Brian Norcross. Deb Smith. Live, this is Channel 4 News at 6.